Go.
Be cool.
Here we go, and it is Summer Solstice 2020. We promised you. Last year we were here for it, and we said we'll be back for it again. I don't know why my email wants to pop up right now, but it is. Thank you for joining us. Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman, Jay Parker. We continue from Palisade, Colorado. And it's a lovely evening. Welcome and thank you.
Paonia.
What did I say? Palisade?
You did.
Jeez.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
We
We're
nipped
on a
it in
road
the
trip.
bud.
You know, I actually feel kind of cool about that. It's like Motley Crue on the road or something like that. I don't even know where I am, man.
Tell that story. Tell that story right here in the intro. Tommy Lee.
When I met him in the airport in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was traveling O'Hare Airport. Tommy Lee was getting his shoes shined, and I was probably 15 years old.
My mic's not on.
Oh,
there you are.
He was getting his shoes
and
shined?
he was singing "Lottie
What
Dottie."
kind of shoes?
He had cowboy boots on.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, and he signed a drumstick for me, and the back of a People magazine said, "Cheers, Greg." All right. Paonia, Colorado, Summer Solstice 2020.
Yeah.
We promised it. We delivered. That's the voice of Dave Thibodeau, who's cooking extraordinaire tonight. We let him have a knife, even though there's a ordinance that says no. Dave has a knife, and Jeff Schwartz. What a host, man. Thank you so much. And we're in the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome. I like that.
I know where that is. Hey, first of all, thank you, and we're all here. What a day we had. Jeff, you let us go. You said, okay, you guys go have your day. But, Jay, it was something else, huh?
Yes. The sun was out, and we saw wine, and we saw pigs, and we saw barrel-aged beer, and we saw
apples and peaches and cherries. Oh my,
yes.
Cherries.
Yes, we saw all of that delicious.
Jay, actually, did you get a cherry today, Jay?
I
did
didn't,
you get
but
a cherry?
I'm connecting to Earth, and I'm not being sarcastic or in jest, man. I really am connecting to Earth through these trips. Now the rest
do you think it's through
the rest of my life? Is
I love to
terrible.
hear that, though. It means it means I've pissed him off enough that I'm rubbing off on him, and there's a little bit of dirt in Jay. Because that's what we've got.
No,
the
man,
boys who give me a hard time about dirt.
But seriously, being out here, and talking with Jeff and just seeing his place, man, and walking from just here to there and passing the trees and seeing the people doing the things that they're doing. Like, I'm not joking, man. I mean, normally I'm terrible about everything, but I'm seeing human nature and earth and all. And it's deep, man, and it's heavy, and I dig it.
Telling the stories, hearing the stories, right? Hearing the stories, and so many of them. Out of what you heard us say today, I think you can probably guess where so if we said we were pigs, and we saw cherries, and we saw peaches, and we saw apples, and
I saw fox.
Delicious barrel-aged beer. Try and guess some of those stops that we're at.
Wine.
Where'd you see cherries?
Oh, bring her up.
Ooh.
And how much per pound?
Yeah. Where can we buy them?
It was pick your own. I'm not going to tell you where it is because, they're too close. They're within a few miles. I don't want to let you guys. Totally. I'm teasing. We went over to Berg. We were telling you about Lauren, the Berg Harvest.
Great folks, great food, great people.
She just had still little stuff on her trees, but they lost, like everyone else. They lost everything.
They had minimal cherries, and I got to say, I let these guys.
I think I ate the last one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I let you guys walk down the rows of the orchard, cruise around the corner. Then I peed.
Yes, you did.
To give a little nitrogen.
To leave a little Dave behind.
And then I picked some cherries off, and they weren't quite ripe. Like they're a day away. Whatever, maybe a week.
Yeah.
And, man, that place is fantastic.
So you guys went and you saw Toby down in
Here's
in
us
Hotchkiss.
traveling to Toby right
now. Beautiful farm, and he's raising pigs just wonderfully. Thoughtfully and on range.
Hey, I got a crazy idea for you.
Yes.
We use him as a test farm.
For what?
And give him seed because he's feeding all these root vegetables to those pigs, and he doesn't care about his yield.
But what are we testing?
Any new root crops to grow in this valley?
Like jicama? Like, what do you think we want to do?
Well, that's crazy.
Wait,
what do you want to do?
So is it Mark at Thistle Whistle who's growing the sunchokes? Who's growing? Why can't I get a little sunchoke from you, man? A little Jerusalem.
We don't have sunchokes.
We grow tomatoes and chilies.
Yeah, we should.
We should, but sunchoke is a great
because they're easy and they're
fantastic.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They're fine.
They're fun.
They are delicious.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what are we
Fun.
So what
Well,
goes
and so
into-
that's it. But that, and
fantastic,
so
yeah.
maybe you got to be the guy to tell me I'm way off, man. Hey, Brian, you're way off. I was just thinking about like how do we figure out new things to grow in your guys' valley? Because a guy like Toby is so cool.
Well, how about we talk about what is already
Yeah,
growing?
what about? I
And
don't think
already
we need
happening right now.
innovation in the actual crops. I think the crops that work here, let's keep growing them. Apples, peaches, grapes. We've got enough. Let's just find out the best ways to sell them and share them. And
Okay.
and if we need
Well,
to be
no,
innovative, we could be innovative.
I
But
I love where you're going because I know the problem you're talking about.
what's the problem?
Well, it's the distribution. It's the toughest. It's
Yeah,
how do you
well, it's
get
like
it
we're
into the
gonna
end
grow-
consumer, like you said. It's right now it's changing. That's what I think is exciting. But let's get back to this.
Sorry, Greg,
I
sorry.
want to. I don't
I'm
want to
taking it all
hijack
in.
anything. I love where this is going, and we're going to get back.
Is
there,
Greg
for sure.
going to do a human beatbox tonight?
I could.
I was
Nah,
thinking
Did I do that last year?
Maybe it'd be best
How
if
did
you
you
didn't.
know?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes.
When Toby, we said, "Hey, this is Dave from Ska." He's like, "Dave from Ska, the owner of Ska." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I love." Apparently, he's a huge fan. Here's what Toby had.
He's a big beer drinker, is he?
Here's what he had to say. Bring him up.
Oh, what?
God, I wish those cases were out here more often.
And when it comes through, you get it
When
all.
those come through, I stock up.
I wonder you could probably stock him up on that somehow, some way.
I think I could take care of that.
That's great.
That's one of my buddies built your containers. You know Chet?
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice. Small world.
It is a small
Man,
world.
I
And-
swear, I know that guy somehow. How do I know that guy from before today? I don't even.
He was on the show. He was on our road trip 2 years ago.
He's
Or was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago, right? We were here 2 years ago with Toby? Or last year with Toby?
It was 2 years ago.
He was.
Yeah.
And here is, it's funny because the vegan comes to the pig farm with us, right? Fine.
Yeah.
And I said,
well,
I said, you have to.
But, like, we had to get that out of the way right away. You know, okay, you're gonna slaughter all your pigs. I'm a vegan. Let's get it out of the way before Greg can make a bunch of jokes.
There were
Right.
no
That's out on
jokes.
the table.
There were no jokes about it, but that's life, and it really is. But as politics and food can divide some people because of what it is, you met Toby and you found him to be a really, really cool guy with a great
Dude.
story.
Dude had the same value system as I do. I mean, to a T. Except for the point of the animal.
Yeah.
But everything up
But
to
it's-
that
yeah.
point.
Except for the pulling of the trigger. It's right there.
Tonight,
Right.
we will play our interview with Toby McPartland from Colorado Pastured Pork, and again, Toby's just a great guy with it, and truly coming from organic farming in California, he comes to Colorado, and what was he saying? He found raising pigs just viable for his land. I mean,
Well, yeah, he was an organic farmer in San Luis Obispo, and vegetable farmer. And he came out to Colorado, and it was and that was I think his idea and his thought, and then it turned out to be much
I
more.
thought
different.
he bought this farm fully expecting to grow crops.
I think that was the deal. Yeah.
And he found out, you know what? I think I could probably turn a buck a little easier putting pigs on this land.
And dude, he's. I mean, if
Look at
you're gonna
these
raise
pigs.
raise pigs,
That's how you want to throw
he's,
down.
He's doing it the right way. Those were happy pigs. I mean,
They're on true pasture. They're in that wetland that he's growing crops for them to turn up. Yeah, no, it's a,
Well,
it's
and
a,
I'll
it's
tell
a
you,
nice situation.
his land looks better.
Yeah.
When I was there
I
2
agree.
years ago to today,
He's had a lot of time to work with it.
I complimented him because the reality is what he's
He
done.
had Corona days to rake up a little bit.
And,
lot of time
and
right
he
there.
has.
Well,
He's
but
putting
it was
hours in.
greener. I mean,
No, it's a beautiful place, yeah.
he has changed that whole ecosystem over there at
Yep.
what he's working with. I
Yeah.
mean, for sure.
Oh man! Well, this was first stop. This is early in the day, and we're just getting rolling. And he took us into that one pasture, but really cool how he's rotating the pastures and these pigs. He said about 14 days that those pigs could take care of that pasture right there, of what they were in. I'm looking forward to airing that interview.
Eating the pigs
Oh, tonight we've got some of his pork here.
that we cooked on that fire, and
it
I think
was-
that's going to be a nice feast.
It was the one that licked Jay last year, or what? Did it bite you?
Yeah, I got a good.
It bit Jay last year.
Got a
This year, Jay's going to bite him. Tit for a tat, Jay?
No, I was looking for him while I was out there, but I didn't see him.
All right, who learned what? Who knows one breed of hog that he has out there? Can anybody name one?
Mangalista.
Yeah.
Mangalita. Margarita.
The
What's it
margarita pig.
What's it called? I thought that's what it was.
You were
got
right.
one,
Yeah,
Dave?
I was saying, yeah,
Oh.
you got mine. That was
Everybody's laughing because I said one.
Berkshire.
And he's got 6, what would you call them, varieties? Pig.
Flavors.
It's a Mandalorian. Yes, we just got word.
Flavors?
We just had a guest call in and
flavors,
say that
yes.
he had a Mandalorian that he was going to fillet.
A DeLorean from a stainless steel car from Back to the Future? That was a great film. And Back to the Future did just air at our drive-in in Delta last week.
Far out.
This is real news
Oh
from
my God, that's
from
amazing.
News from Western
As
Colorado.
did
Yeah,
E.T.,
there's
as
a-
did Goonies. That's pretty good.
Are you kidding me? Was it a double feature?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're always double feature
Double
after
feature.
May.
for the drive-in.
But typically,
Why
you don't
am I living in Durango?
but typically you don't get E.T. and Goonies
Together. At all.
on the same night. E.T.
Yeah.
and Goonies? You're like, what is it, 84?
Yeah, but dude, that is a stellar.
I don't know. That's why I'm bringing it up. It was really good.
Don't tell too many people how great this place is, Jeff. You know, we got to keep that a little bit of a secret.
Everyone's
you know, I mean,
welcome. We just all have
You
to
know,
make
that's
it happen.
that's a funny thing because honestly, and we deal with it in Durango. It's a bigger situation, but you have such a beautiful place, and you need people to come through to make it what it is and to experience what it is that you do and to really drive your revenue, you know. But at the end of the day, it's you got to make enough money to live. And at the same time, you're like, man, I just, where is that line? Like, I don't want to ruin my beautiful life. And think about that.
Listen,
Think about that. I mean,
my back's
you think about it every day. I know you do because I do. You know, it's like, man, I want everybody to come here, but I wish nobody would come here. You know,
no.
to
How do
share.
we deal with that, Lil? Do you think?
Lil, I was watching your face, and you're kind of like, oh shit, what are you
Yeah, I
talking
totally
about?
get it. I think that this is not the place for everyone. It's a great vacation spot. People love the novelty of it, but not everybody wants to live here, and I think that that's cool. You know, I think that
That's a great
yeah,
point.
I think that a lot of people love to visit here, but they don't want to live here.
Or the thought is very romantic, but you get
Totally.
into it for a
Yeah.
while, and you're like, okay,
You're
I
like,
can
oh,
go back
this is
to
a
my
lot of work,
home.
and it's not quite
Yeah.
as romantic as what I thought it was. Yeah, and so you go back to the amenities or the things that you're used to, and so yeah, I think that it's a great place.
That's
to visit.
interesting because I think Durango is it's a little more, it's bigger,
Yeah.
so it's more accessible.
Totally.
So I think somebody coming up from Texas or Oklahoma or whatever might be like, oh, I could live here. Well, maybe a little easier than here.
Yeah.
And then maybe I don't want to live here. I'm just going to spend like $20 million building a second home that I'm never going to live in.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking the question more about the seasonal traffic, and we're running this campground here at Big B's and Delicious, and I think because it's the summer solstice and because it's the long days and because we have the ability to host people, just do it. It's like make hay when the sun shines, and
Heck yeah.
and then when it's over, when the season's over in November for us, then it's quiet. Then everyone can go, because it's winter. But I think during the summer, we just have to host and accept and welcome and keep that energy high, and it keeps circulating. The positivity
I like that.
is what I've been
Yeah.
seeing.
Well, but and you've got a whole new aspect. I mean, what Jeff is talking about here at Big B's or Delicious Orchards in Paonia here. And a little quick reset. We're on the Modern Eater
Do it, Brian.
Rocky Mountain,
baby.
Colorado.
Rocky
on
Mountain,
our,
Colorado.
What is this, boys? Are we going to call this our, 2020 TME Road Trip?
2020, 1995 road
dinner
trip.
Of the, the dinner of the gods.
Dinner of the gods.
Y20K is what we're going to go.
If I could call it something, I'd call it Ska Brewhouse Love Fest. I love Ska beer.
Jesus, that's
The
ridiculous.
lager, that IPA from last night. That's
wait, hey, his family's here. Don't talk about his love fest, man. Usually it's all his buddies. And
No,
That's ridiculous.
no, I'd like to give a lot of props to these guys, to Ska, because these guys are the 5th biggest brewery in the state, putting out a tremendous amount of beer. It's all over the place. Every ski hill we go to, every restaurant. That says a lot, man. That's a lot of logistics. That's a lot of dealing, and I am really giving it up.
Oh, here we go.
Kudos
You
to
guys.
Right.
I'm in on
Cheers
that.
to Ska.
I give up
To
To
Durango
Ska. Yeah,
Ska.
Durango
Always,
Ska.
man.
Okay, that
That's a good
seems
one.
a little silly, but I appreciate it. I mean, dude, honestly, I still remember when I first met you. It was so freaking long ago, and I'm just like, man,
forever ago.
it's amazing. You guys have done fantastic things, and my family and I, my daughter and my wife are over there grilling on your grill.
Hi, guys.
And they are so cool. They're just great.
Yeah, and it's like they're so stoked, and my daughter's like, man, we have to have a farm. We have to have a farm. We got to have a farm. And it's like,
Some
oh, my
chickens.
God, what am I going to do?
Or just
Well,
come-
Dave, you had one, right? I mean, you used to have one. And
sorts. It was I would call it a ranchette.
Yeah.
Well,
just come camp. Extended camp. Got some beautiful cabins.
And I mean,
by the way.
and it's because we come to a place like this, and they see how freaking cool it is, and it's like, there's not that many places like that. There's a lot, but I mean, you guys are fantastic.
So what's the footprint, you guys? I mean, when do you stop? When do you stop just getting bigger or expanding?
Big
the
pick.
Well, you got a venue that you want to put over there. That's
Yeah,
really
Lil,
big,
you
and
might
then
want to
is
chime
there
in on
gonna
this
be
one.
More camping. It's like you talk to Jeff, and he's developing that mountain over there.
Jeff's like, we will never stop.
No, that's not true.
I will get to Crested Butte. I will promise.
And that's
We
an
got, what, 30 acres?
honest question. Where because you always want to keep going and improving. And is there a stop point? Because there's always something to do. But when do you know that it's like, okay, this is right, this is enough?
I think it's like opportunity and the flow of it. Like when we stop when it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't make any sense anymore.
Doesn't feel good, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't feel good.
You're not going to push the growth, but when there's the opportunity for growth, you're just going to, of course you're going to flow into that.
But what's
You
the
know?
vision? I mean, I'm digging this, and I like it. But I kind of like that it's an intimate, friendly, and so when it gets to that point to where I kind of feel suffocated a little bit, or maybe that's too
I
much,
hope,
or
like-
streamlined. Yeah.
I hope it's always intimate and friendly.
Okay.
If this doesn't feel like somebody's backyard, then I feel like we've gone wrong somehow.
Gotcha.
I think that we want to.
This is
create this.
perfect. I want it to just stop now. That's me,
But,
and I'm
but we
sorry.
don't need
But I
to
don't think-
stop in order to preserve our
Yeah.
culture
Right.
and our community.
Yeah.
We can keep, like Lil said, she hit it exactly on
Yeah,
the
you
head.
don't-
When the opportunity is presenting itself and it's an appropriate opportunity, let's just flow and catch it and, create economy with it because it's a win-win. We provide and people want it and need it. Your beer, your food, our restaurant, our campground. So it's a win-win-win. And as long as it's a win-win-win, let's just keep rolling.
I think one of the things that we really focused in on today, and Brian, you said that I hadn't felt so connected to Paonia ever. And what we're starting to see as we return is like-minded people with really cool businesses. Your guy Sean from Big Beast is now Chrysalis, is beautiful brewery. The folks from Storm Cellar, neighbors down the street. I know.
Storm Cellar.
It's really attracting a culture of other like-minded business people as well. That's the really cool stuff.
Yeah, and I think when we all have that similar mindset and there's the opportunity, let's grow in that similar mindset and continue to bring in as much as we can, but not like we would never compromise that, common understanding of what we're doing, and I think that the Valley kind of has that common understanding of what we're doing. And so we have the opportunity to keep growing, but I guarantee we would never cross over that
threshold.
That threshold of what
45-foot RVs.
Well, but I go to this level with you, Lil, of what you're saying.
The line is
That's the
drawn
line.
at 25.
Well, but
25.
It's actually 45.
But what Lil is saying is about values.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Dave, and that's your thing. And I what I hear in that is like, listen, I'm not going to compromise my values.
Totally.
But in the world of ag, and even in beverages, it's about opportunity at that moment, because I think that there's so many years where you don't have a crop, and all of a sudden you have a bumper crop, and how do you figure out how to? You've got to turn that into an opportunity. Where I've seen in the ag, I'll speak really frank now, because I don't have the kind of skin in the game.
It better be damn
well, listen
good,
to this.
Because I've been drinking since 3, so I'm gonna be real frank.
I'm gonna be real freaking frank with you right now, okay?
Yeah.
And
it's
here's
just gonna get better.
And
here's
the reality in my opinion is when the farmer can't realize that they need to drop. You need to drop your shorts sometimes to make this happen.
Your shorts?
Well, in figuratively speaking, like in the
he's just he's just what's familiar. He's using what's familiar to him.
Figuratively?
Yeah.
I get it.
Literally.
well, but
the shorts.
But this concept of you might have to sell it for less than what it cost you to produce it that year. But the reality is 50 cents of a dollar is better than 0 of a dollar. And sometimes we get stuck on something. And I love when I work with so many farms and have called me and like, holy shit, Brian, I've got 3 days of life on something. And I'm like, couldn't you have called me when you had 10? Like, give me a chance to do something with it before it turns into juice.
That's interesting. I'm seeing something very interesting through agriculture and again, we look at restaurants and the margins being so thin to be able to turn a profit in restaurants. I look at farming you've got to be good, and especially a lot of it's family farming.
Many ways, yeah.
And you see so many people that aren't just, let's face it, very good business people. They're great farmers, but they're not great business people. I'm seeing a lot of innovation in.
But I would say that.
1 second, let me finish this
Please.
thought. I'm seeing a lot of innovation in side hustles with agriculture, and in that it's an Airbnb or camping or a restaurant on the property, or ways to be able to go
Greg,
apple
but
cider
now
vinegar,
I want to say, Greg, that
let me tell you what this freaking side hustle. You're the master of that, brother.
No, but
you've got cider.
Let
You've
him
got
talk, let him
apples.
talk,
You've
let him
got
talk.
yeah.
the traditional farmer in this valley that I know, the Arvin Stalls, the Bob Kochs, the Bernie Heidemans, they've always had a side hustle. They've always been efficient. They've always known how to make money on 10 acres, 5 acres, a small crop, a good crop, a bad crop. And so, we talk about the new farmer with the side hustle and the innovation, but I think these old guys, they were efficient. They were conservative with fiscally conservative, spent when they needed to, built what they couldn't spend, and sold whatever they had.
Let them go.
Yeah. And
So, I'm not. I'm yeah.
And so I think we really, what we're doing, what we're the value-added propositions, the interesting entrepreneurs, the agricultural entrepreneurs, the original agriculturalists were entrepreneurs, So
let's face it. If you made all the money you could off your crops, would you have any of these other accoutrements?
Yes, because
You
we're
would?
trying. We would. 'cause
Meaning, like
we're not. We
Well, you
want to
said
serve.
like me sitting in an Airbnb on the property, or you camping along a tree right there, or just making.
I think we're people.
I was going to say, I don't think that's not this business plan. We're not just farmers. That was never the point of this place, is to just be an agricultural location. I think that the tourist aspect and the bringing people in and that flow of people coming in and experiencing it and going out and telling people, that's been so clutch for this whole experience. And so for us, like the side hustle, quote unquote, is kind of like the natural, like, let's bring people in, like, let them experience this, and let
that
them,
builds
like,
a great brand. It
totally.
really does.
Well,
Yeah.
but I
Loyalty
see a
to brand.
community, and that's
Exactly.
where your values go.
Yeah.
Is you're more about building community
Okay.
Yeah.
and everything you're
Now
doing
let's
there,
do
yeah.
the aha moment. And this is why I'm known. God bless these guys. And I just want to say that Berg Harvest, I think that they are really, from what I've seen, very cool people. But I am not seeing, and they've really seemed like they've activated their land in just the past couple of years in that way.
Beautiful farm, beautiful orchard.
It's amazing.
And with that, I do see, I sense a struggle. And they don't do those same certain types of things. What are the things in innovation, in agriculture, in farming, of some of the things that you've noticed that other folks need to listen to in order to still be viable and be able to utilize their property in the best ways that they can? Are there any tips, tricks, thoughts?
Asparagus.
I
was just
Damn you,
asparagus.
Jess.
Kidding me?
I think that's the crop of the future.
Of course, dude.
Yeah,
My God.
that's the crop of the future. No, I think that, like, it's so clear that we, like, this whole 30-acre farm is a farm, but it's also an experience.
It is.
And, like, the whole point of it is to bring people in, and I think that, like, that's where the real strength and the real power has come from, is when people come in, they experience it, and they want to, like,
But do you
build
realize
from there.
why we're so in love with you is
Yeah.
because of that?
Exactly.
Right,
Well,
but
that's the whole point.
A lot of other people don't have that
Well,
or
that's the
can even
thing,
hold a
like,
candle to that.
I don't think that other people want that. I think that people start
think so
their
either.
farms because they want to be farmers or they want to be orchardists.
Yet you
And-
hear about their struggles, though.
Totally.
You have
And,
to
like,
trust it, you know. You
Yeah.
have to trust the market and the, like you said, the side hustle. Like, I think the entrepreneur, you know, is whether it's agriculturalist or not. You know, you're always looking to see what the opportunity is, and the opportunity here is to serve the people, and to like Lil said, is to give them every opportunity to do what they would like to do, whether it's hang out and buy drinks and dinner or camp and listen to music.
Yeah.
And it makes our job easier because we don't have to be the best agriculturalists. We don't need to be the best campground hosts. We can't be the best gardeners. We're not the best restaurant, but we're giving it our all at each aspect, and people respond very positively to our love because we have a lot of passion and love and communication and fun times, you know.
Let me throw Jeff something. Do you think, because you're in a unique position as a farm and an orchard because of where your fruit can go, most farmers don't have, you have a super luxury, which I think it's
The
planned.
golf cart?
The juice.
I would agree.
Cheers! I love that. Well, but the fact that you are sending most of your stuff into juice and number twos, and so in a way you're very, very lucky, because some people who compete with some of the farmers that I've worked with over the years, if your cucumber is an
Can you
exact...
name 5 of those good old farmers you've worked with over the years? The Wayne Talmadges.
Well, now we could go both sides of that, because like the Wayne Talmadges and I mean, holy smokes, your gal Aloha Fruit or not, and Colorado Peach Company.
Anita?
Who divorced Bill. I have like these farmer, like the farmers. You know the farmers.
No more names.
Never mind. Hey.
Yeah.
We got a commercial break.
Never mind.
Thank you, babe. Jay's calling it.
From Paonia, Colorado.
saw that
It
last
is
night.
the longest day of the year, and it might be the longest show of the year.
Caroline is her name. Colorado
Happy
Peach Company.
solstice, homies.
Happy solstice.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
I love this. I
Lil,
love it.
Can we do a song
reel it
for
in,
the
Lil.
commercial?
Yeah, what song do you have?
I was going to do a ditty.
Were you going to sing?
You about to bust out a
I
harp?
could do my
thought you
guitar
were-
here.
All right, go get your
No,
guitar.
it's a pipe,
You guys
not
do
a harp.
Commercial break. We're going to do a commercial break. We'll be right back. It's beyond the Thunderdome now. He's trying to put the headset on the watermelon.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves Rome sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Kreider here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of our sales newly appointed hospitality specialist, Felina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of chai. Come see us. Come see what we've got, and Felina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here. And as I come in here, I'm noticing, Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful, chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment, and maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Hi, everybody. It's Chef Carrie Barrett at Rose's here in Boulder. I'm the first chef this year, the Summer Dinner Series. It's July 7th. We always sell out, so get your tickets early. You can get them at summerdinnerseries.com. This year I'm pairing with Field to Fork, some old friends of mine that I can't wait to have some beautiful produce and cook together. So please be there. Buy your tickets, do them early. Like I said, we always sell out, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks. How's that?
Hey guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth here. And you know what they say, if you can't take the heat, then you should get out of the kitchen. But with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth, we want you in the kitchen while we put out those fires. With Hot Schedules, we help to mitigate risk with HR, payroll, and tax compliance solutions so you can continue to put those plates on the table for your guests. Today's a big day. We're reopening, so call me. Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. That's Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. With Hot Schedules by Fourth, we've got you covered.
Hey, Modern Eater family. This is Dave Thibodeau from the Ska Street Brews Distillery. Every year, the Modern Eater crew hits the road, and they make a trip around Colorado visiting farmers and chefs and all things agriculture related. And I think this year I'm going to tag along for a little bit. They've made it to Durango the last couple years, and I've had a great time with them, and we visited some of our local farms. And I think I'm going to have to join them in Paonia, Montrose, through Durango for a couple of nights, maybe over to Westcliff, Crestone, Monte Vista. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens and how it plays out. And if you want to find out, follow them on their social media, and they'll keep the updates running. And I hope to see you guys soon, and hopefully at the distillery or our brewery or the brew distillery. But stay tuned to the Modern Eater, all their social media channels, and we'll see you on the road. Stay safe out there.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
A couple years ago.
Here we are, back at it, and I'm calling it the Thunderdome tonight. This is a cool place. Jeff Schwartz. Jeff's getting ready. Dave's getting ready. Brian Freeman. Yeah. Don't use it. Was
remember?
it? Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
He's wanted in 6 states.
Jeff from Big B's, outset.
He's witness protection.
Dude, I remember that. That was that was in the contract.
You're right. You're right.
He solved many bank robberies around the world.
Yeah, you're already pushing it because
it has to do with a loan.
In
94.
In 94.
I love you, baby.
Easy.
Hey, don't even talk about it. I got a buddy who will help you take care of that.
I lost control of this show a long time ago.
Yeah,
I think it was last night.
Whose show is this?
It's Jay's.
I was going to say,
let me introduce Jay Parker from Ska Brewing here.
Yeah.
Let's show a little bit of the day today, y'all. So the area is beautiful. I think this year, it's warmer this year than last year. It was cold last year.
Was it?
Yeah, it was cold. Do you remember that, Lil? It was cold?
Yeah, last year was nice.
Yeah. Oop, there's.
Last year was.
It was cold last year.
Was it?
Yeah, it's pretty cold. We're
This
out
year's
here.
hot.
This year's warm.
Yeah.
I like heat.
This year's dry.
It's dry.
There's Tobe.
Yeah, Tobe.
Just to show through.
There's
the day.
Lamborn. Oh,
Oh,
tree.
oh.
Tree.
People.
Beautiful people.
So, do you know those two?
Peach
Have
leaves.
you ever met? That's Stephanie Berg, one of the real family members. Because you've met Lauren. No.
Yes.
Yeah. But here's what the kick is. Right there, I got those guys to grow some veggies. And they're growing veggies at
Bless you.
Great.
Oh, Chrysalis.
Whoa,
Let's
slow
stop
down.
at Chrysalis.
Did you take pictures of this, of delicious orchards like this?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
More
Okay,
than
good.
you could ever imagine.
We've seen a lot of other.
You would
other
think we'd
businesses.
send you a bill because
Can
of
anyone
how
see
many
me on
pictures.
Jay,
Yeah.
can you see me on the video right now?
I
It was
haven't. I
last
haven't
night.
seen.
Am
me.
I on?
Last night was our,
So I can't
our delicious
do what I wanna do?
orchards.
No, you cannot do it.
I thought, yeah.
Because I would.
I know you would. Yes.
Just missing a whole lot of pictures of me.
Are there a whole
That
lot of
was
pictures?
last
Lil would
night,
like to
Lil.
see a whole lot of pictures of
And
Lil.
I
we
haven't
thought we
seen
couldn't
you.
post that spirit god there. Just
Two storm sellers.
That's good.
Are we? Yeah. I mean, we'd love to.
Where's that?
This is headed to Storm Cellar.
What is that building right there?
This is Chrysalis.
Oh, yeah. That sure is.
And
It's a nice patio.
It is a nice patio.
I like its
This
location.
is us taking off.
Isn't this crazy? Don't you? This is like my Brian's crazy driving.
I'm getting
experience.
nauseous. Ah.
Oh, you should trust Greg in the passenger seat. Every time we get close to an edge of the cliff, he's like, "Stop it, Brian."
Can we use this for our golf cart virtual reality game?
We could do that for sure. Of the view up there, and it almost mimics yours, but you're at ground
Is that
level.
Sean driving in front of you?
Exactly.
It is. Following.
What
Good
does he have
eye.
that ski rack on in the summer?
That's his bug out kit.
Whoa!
Whoa! Where's he going? Whoa!
These guys. So, what do you know about Storm Cellar?
Great wine, best wine I've drank in nights.
Talk to me about that water canal they got right behind their place. And I heard that feeds a lot of your guys' valley.
Fire Mountain.
Is that Fire Mountain?
It's the Fire Mountain ditch, right?
Big irrigation
Storm
canal.
Yeah, right by right
Oh, yeah.
right above
Yeah,
them. Well, I think that's interesting because if you look at the mountain and the fact of where that ditch is running, is that really feeding this entire valley? And he said 30 miles down.
It's a newer canal. Fire Mountain Canal is a newer, I think, within 40 years old. A lot of water coming out of the reservoir. It does do a lot of the north flank of the valley. A little bit low junior seniority, junior rights.
Rights, yeah.
Yep. But there's some water in it.
You've talked about water in this valley, and not to sidetrack, but I think that's an important issue, right? I mean,
Water?
at some point, I think water,
Top 4.
water and gold might be the same price at some
top
point.
2.
Okay, yeah.
There's no gold as far as we know.
There's coal.
Yeah.
Well,
Water,
but
coal.
And it's good coal. It's clean burning.
well, this concept though of that water is going to be as expensive as gold, and that you're in a place of. I mean, now listen, you all are benefiting. Well, there's some reality to this because you guys benefit from a place. I mean, what are your water shares? I'm just curious.
On this particular farm?
Cost. If you sold them. Do you know?
No, I don't know that. But we have Farmer's Ditch. We have it's an excellent canal of water, old irrigation rights, good water off the river. And
I'll throw something at you. I've seen water rights $30,000 a share to $10,000 a share.
Like Farmer's Ditch is one of the most senior water rights.
I think it's top 3 in the valley.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I go with this concept that I'm meeting developers. Okay, this will make you mad. I'm meeting people.
Cocktail parties?
That buy, yes.
In the Norfolk Valley?
That buy.
You're having cocktail parties?
In Carbondale or Denver?
Well, I was actually at a restaurant this morning. We were drinking mimosas and, but they're talking about
water.
buying land and stripping the water from it and creating water districts. And that could hurt farms.
Were they speaking over cigarettes and sausage breakfasts? I mean, so what? So, I mean...
Well, but where does that
do?
mean to you guys? Like, water doesn't mean... Because I've talked to some of my other farmer friends, and water is like everything.
Of course. But what... So,
but
yes.
Do you guys...
Yeah, well, in this climate, in this geography, water is everything.
And it doesn't mean anything because you guys have great rights. You have an old farm.
We do.
Do you think that there's other people? So where I was going with this ditch and the vineyard, so storm
Cellars.
Thank you. They've got older rights, but they're in a place that seems so dry.
Right.
What ditch are they on? Do you know?
They're on Fire Mountain.
Yeah.
It's a young ditch. It's a new ditch. So
It's a
they'll
newer
get
ditch.
their water, no problem, for a while.
Yeah.
But I would like to say this. In western Colorado, in this high desert, our issue is desertification. So that's what we're trending towards. Big picture. We're not flooding on the East Coast. We're not rising we're not living on the coast and rising coastal. We are desertifying, and we've done this before. This is a pattern.
Tell us this word, the definition of this desertifying.
We're turning into a desert.
Yeah, we're heating up and we're drying out. We're turning into a desert. So that's the pattern that we're going to watch, and that's the pattern that we're going to live. We don't have tornadoes, we don't have hurricanes, we don't have rising tides, but we do have desertification. It's slower and it's longer, but it's just as impactful, just as severe, and just as significant.
Will technology keep up with that?
I don't know. How does technology keep
That's the
up with
thing.
desertification?
It's like, how do you argue with how much rain we get? How do you argue with the amount of water we get? We're at the mercy of Mother Nature to supply us with the water we need. There's no way that we can get that aside from, what's in the reservoirs or what falls from the sky.
Well, utilization and then data points of how it's used. And
Sure.
There's certain things that
or conservation. Could you change anything
I think
here?
the Palestinians in the Middle East did a really good job, and the Israelis. I mean, I think that whole area did a really good job with very little water grow, and the Israelis did it, with drip irrigation and cover and plastic mulch. So yes, of course, on a micro level, we can grow crops with a minimal amount of efficient water. We know that. But we're talking ecosystem-wide. These winds, these heat, these fires, this smoke, that is our geological almost dark, karma. That's where we're heading, this area. And so you talk about water. Of course water is important. That's our core issue.
I would think nutrients and rich soil.
We have all the nutrients you could possibly want if we have enough water.
Right. We just need to add water, and we can grow farms.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Like this soil, like geologically, is so nutrient rich. We just need water.
And it's a glacial. You guys are in a glacial. What do you call it?
Meltdown.
Talk to me. Well, no. This valley is. So earlier, Jamie was speaking to this about. And
I mean,
actually,
was this an aquifer?
Well, no, it was this glacial. It was. I mean, this was a melt right in here, right? I mean, this is where a glacier melted down this valley and sort of sculpted everything that was here.
I think that everything that's here is like ancient seabed. And so we have like this kind of path of the river and path of the sea that has deposited these levels or these layers of, various minerals and such. And so we do have really mineral rich soil, and kind of the challenge is to incorporate organic matter into it because we don't have a whole lot of organic matter. But when you get that organic matter into it, then you have this like really incredible growing soil, and you just need the water to do it.
My favorite part of the show tonight.
The scientific aspect.
No, I love the intellectual conversations about really what you're dealing with in regions and where, because everything that really what we're saying right now is educated speculation. Mm-hmm. You're contemplating the land. You're theorizing on the future.
But you're just kind of riding the wave,
right?
Honestly,
right?
Like we're like, yeah, this works really well right now, and we're going to ride it as long as we possibly can. But if and when in 10, 20, 50 years, we're like, oh, this isn't working anymore, then you stop doing it. Because there's no way you can manufacture a natural process like growing crops, growing an orchard on something that isn't going to naturally work.
So are there 1-year plans, 5-year plans, 10-year plans, 20-year plans?
Yeah, I'd say so. Both agriculturally and business-wise. I think we always are working on daily plans, weekly plans, monthly plans, yearly plans, annual plans, 10-year, 5-year, 10-year, 20. Yeah, I think that's what the orchard does. That's what a perennial system does to your design process.
Now, can you collect data points to know?
If you keep notes.
Yeah.
You got to keep notes.
No, you got to keep notes to have data.
If you don't keep notes, you don't have data points.
Is that important?
I think data is important.
Do you want to know more as you go along?
Of course.
Yeah,
like
financially, like from a business standpoint, definitely. You want data.
From every point. But the question is not, do you want to keep data? Of course we want to keep information. Yeah. It's how do we keep it? Some people keep it on spreadsheets, on notes, on poems, on paragraphs.
And some people keep it right here.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's true.
Well, yeah, let's talk to, Bob over there who's lived here forever, and those are our data points.
Well, and go
Have
deeper.
you seen this before?
Go deeper, Greg, with it is what data points are you collecting, and are you collecting the right data points?
Right.
Because there's some farms or farmers that are like, oh, this is where I vibe things out. It's like if my driveway is wet.
I mean, what are they? Moisture,
then I know.
Yield.
Yeah.
What data?
Well, it's about time of year. You guys have microclimates here that is so unique to any place. I mean, and
that's why it's interesting that cherries are behind a few weeks from Palisade from here. Because usually when we roll through Palisade, cherries are they're ready.
They can be a month behind.
They had a 50-year freeze. So Palisade had a 50-year semi-century freeze event.
Tell me what you said earlier, Jeff.
About
like the reality is Palisade.
Which story? What do you know?
He looks at me and he's like, "Listen, Brian, Palisade freezes out once every 50 years. These guys finally got their freeze."
I was saying it passionately. I wasn't saying it.
No. But these guys are tough. Trust me.
I know. I just want to make sure. Hi, Brian Cox. Hi, guys.
Trust me. I mean, you know where he is in Tijuana riding a motorcycle right now. He was supposed to be on the show a couple nights ago.
I texted him today. I was like, Brian, any cherries? He's like, nope.
Yeah.
I think you had a good question, Greg. I forget what it was. So
no, it wasn't a good recovery. I was like, is he really going to roll with this? No, there was no payday on there.
What was it?
Yeah, what was it? Just remarking on how the climate seems to be a little ahead of right here. It seems like.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just a
Yes, it is.
It's science. It's very different.
It's science, yeah.
Well, you guys, how far would you say you are? Yeah,
back to where I was. Does that ever tighten up? Is it warmer throughout the year here at some point to where you're noticing that? Is it cooling off? I mean,
I was going to
say,
go
to bed, Dave.
The person to talk to, I'll let Dave needs to talk because he knows data points. But Steve Ela would be a great interview.
Oh yeah.
Because he's got scientific data points. He's knowing his soil. He's knowing his yield. He's a brilliant orchardist. He's a great guy. And at some point, get him. Because in terms of really studying this science and this art and this economy from a data point, Steve Vila is a good guy.
Yeah.
Where we're rolling I'm rolling a little bit more from just feeling.
Free balling.
Present moment awareness.
PAB.
That's right.
Thank you. And now you hear from the voice of Jeff's better half.
Free balling moment. What did she say?
Present moment awareness.
PBA, just like I said.
And it's okay. I mean, you guys really, the vibration runs through you. It completely does. You're in tune with this.
That was like Bob Marley in Germany in '82. He was that was like,
right?
the vibe was going right through him as well. When did Bob Marley die? 80.
Did he?
And so in '82, the vibe was definitely going through him.
I'm just trying, now that I realize we're live, I was just trying to
have a little fun. Well, no, remember, we asked you earlier, would you throw us a lie? Just give us a lie. Tell us.
No,
what
you never
lie.
asked. I would never do that.
Brian, why would you ask
We're
that?
not going to lie about Bob Marley.
That's right. That's not going to happen.
I think he did die in 80.
I need Jay.
82.
No.
I need
Cancer.
Jay right now.
Toe cancer.
I need
Cancer
Jay.
in his toe.
Toe, yeah.
Mr. J. Okay, we need to make some decisions here because it is 10:37.
How long is this?
And we have
way
Oh,
past
this
my
could go
bedtime.
on
we have a
and
couple
on and
interviews.
Show's over.
20 more minutes. Come on.
Keep going. This is fun.
Do we want to tease and the two interviews that we have? These interviews you don't want to sit through anyways because this is what
Well, they're
going to
go on after 20 minutes.
But
right?
they're long. Do we want to premiere
So you
these
guys-
in the morning and schedule a couple
What?
of interviews?
I can schedule them out.
Dave, you'll be asleep in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
guys-
No,
Guaranteed.
he said he'd give us 20, right, Dave?
Crazy
He'd give us
town.
20. Wait, who in the hell is going to cut this watermelon up tonight?
Oh, here
Well,
it is.
I'm just sitting here looking. Yeah.
This is our solstice
Nice.
sacrifice.
Good work with your
Like,
baby.
ritualistic watermelon action.
This might take some
Get in there.
time.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's a big one. I
I know
I
I'm not-
like
I
him
know
using
I'm
that
not
small
a,
knife.
Get it. Get after it.
Are we going to a commercial break?
Yes, we are.
When?
Right now. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Well,
That's the most stressful thing I've done. Holy shit. Look at that. Jay, you all right, Jack? Jay, all right? Yeah, we got all.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Hi, everybody. It's Chef Carrie Baird at Rose's here in Boulder. I'm the first chef this year, the Summer Dinner Series. It's July 7th. We always sell out, so get your tickets early. You can get them at summerdinnerseries.com. This year, I'm pairing with Field to Fork, some old friends of mine that I can't wait to have some beautiful produce and cook together. So please be there. Buy your tickets. Do them early. Like I said, we always sell out, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks. How's that?
Brews is back. Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. We have finally reopened, and our badass Belgian-style beers are flowing. Brews Beers has a huge selection of great beers on draft. Belgian IPAs, doubles, triples, white beers, saisons, and many more. Stop by our brewery tap room at 67th and Pecos in North Denver and bring your dog. Or swing by Brews Off Facts on the south side of Colfax in York. Both tap rooms are open from 2 to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. There are large outdoor patios at both locations, and for your protection, Brews is following all CDC guidelines inside and out. You can still order beers from our website, brewsbeers.com, or come by to take out cans, bottles, and growlers. And once again, you can enjoy our great beers in our tap rooms. Brews Beers, back open with plenty of Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy times right now, so while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
We started Meridian Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridianspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridian, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new Brews Distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street Spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope in Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at skastreet.com and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
All right, here we go. David Thibodeau. You're right. Your name is David Thibodeau.
It's Louise.
She's Louise.
Right back
We're
live.
going to grub and get downtown on this food. We've got a feast coming up for us from Paonia, Colorado, and I'm calling it the Thunderdome. This is a cool structure right here. It really is.
1980s, Buckminster Fuller, geodesic dome. Bob Cokes built it. Yeah, it's classic.
And why do people get a geodesic dome?
I think the space is real good. It's circular, good heating, good audio. We have great sound in here.
You don't think it has to do with anything about the energy that a geodesic dome?
I think the spirituality is
well,
good.
yeah. If you go in there, it's
wash your hands, wear a mask, and don't touch the knives.
Well, if it was a normal day and you walked in there,
Dave,
in February last year.
Yeah, like February last year.
But it's super, like, the space is way more efficient.
It's well appointed.
Yeah. Then you can, far more than you can imagine if you're standing on the outside looking at it, like, what's a geodesic home? Like, what? You walk in there and you're like, I get it.
It makes sense. We've got a couple interviews. We're going to premiere them for you. We're collecting so much content throughout the day. We can't get it all done in a recap show. Well, I'll give you a little taste. Here's a little taste from Chrysalis right here.
Yeah. Those guys are doing a nice job.
Jeff, I got to give it up to you.
We premiere this.
I think at the end of the day, we could talk ourselves out of it if we needed to. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I feel like
different, Dave.
It just wasn't a consideration when the order came.
Yeah, and I think there probably was so much scrambling going on, not to blame anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Polis is a drinker. So, from what I've heard. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Not saying it.
All right, there you go.
Because the weed laws got passed, but the beer laws.
That was actually a pretty good spot to tease you with. We'll be uploading that video. Look,
I love it. He calls Polis out as a doper.
A teetotaler. No, he called him as a teetotaler.
Yeah, and then he says, but I know he smokes.
He did not. Can you put
check it out.
Bring that back,
Check it
Jake.
out.
Jake, bring it back. Come on.
That's what I heard.
Here we go. We'll bring it back.
I love Sean for
You
this
gotta
kind of
have
stuff.
food on the ticket. Mm-hmm. But it was a restaurant mindset.
Right.
And because we've never had that be a deal with us, with breweries.
Right.
We just got lumped in.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we could talk ourselves out of it if we needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I feel like it just wasn't a consideration when the order came.
Yeah, and I think there probably was so much scrambling going on, not to blame anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Polis is a drinker. So, from what I've heard. I heard he's a smoker. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Not saying it.
He likes because like the weed laws get passed, but the beer laws,
Send emails to Sean Larson.
That's just what I heard. I'm just saying. I saw it on the face poll.
That's a 17-minute and 47-second video. We're going to upload that. That'll be ready for you bright and early tomorrow morning. It was a great time over there. It truly was.
Greg, can I ask you a question? Why do people listen to Real Housewives and they don't listen to this? Because this is real people. This is real
doing real things.
Brewer masters. This is this is real life.
Well, let's see this one. Let's see.
You want a little taste of this one?
Thunderstorm.
Oh, these guys are great. Come on.
Storm cellar.
The barrels that you're aging your wines in will add and lend to the depth. That's
That's
a
like
good
can of worms
to
open there, man. That's awesome. That's a good question. Yeah, I was going to say, oak adds nuances. It can be super complimentary. I love an oaked wine. We decided because we're using really aromatic, delicate, high acid, wine varieties, grape varieties, and we really want to preserve the freshness and those aromatic nuances. And so, stainless steel fermentation, we're not masking any of those delicate aromas, those beautiful nuances that are already inherent in those grape varieties. And so, have we used some oak? Yes, we have. Actually, our Roussan and our 2018 Chardonnay, which we'll probably taste in a little bit, we used new French lightly toasted oak staves. And barrels, are super expensive. It's really hard to, when we're a new winery, to jump out and get some barrels. It would be great. We'll probably do that later on with a couple varieties, but like Riesling, Pinot Gris, Sauvignon Blanc, we really want those grape varieties to shine. So.
Hey, on this label right here, why don't you put an exclamation mark and a big love sign on the dry Riesling?
Because
you're excited about that.
That's not the dry Riesling. That's the reserve dry Riesling. It's a special. That's a good eye. That is the belle of the ball. That is the most exciting, wine that we have ever made at this vineyard. So if you look right out here at the vineyard, this vineyard has a bunch of really classic vineyard attributes to it. It's got a perfect 5-degree downward slope facing south-southeast, textbook classic vineyard numbers. But if you look over to that far corner over there, that's the far west corner of the vineyard. You can see it slopes down really steep. Well, that corner of the vineyard, we noticed right away when we moved here, the snow in the spring melts there first. It drains off first. It catches the sun first, so it warms up first. Plus, that part of the vineyard holds the heat longest into the fall. So starting in the 2018 vintage, sort of our mantra with that block of the vineyard, it's about a 1.7 acre block of Riesling. We prune it first. So we kickstart the vines. As soon as you make the first cut, that's the signal to the vine to get things going. So we prune that block first, and we don't harvest it until nature says it is the last moment that you can pick those grapes. So that's what makes our reserve Riesling.
What is that last one? Because there's not a timer on it.
No. It was a roller coaster. It was October 12th of 2019.
It is a moment.
We had a freakish frost that got down to 18 degrees. Unheard of, crazy, out of nowhere frost. And after a frost like that, you only get a couple days.
Double time it, yeah.
You get a couple days. And we backed our harvest.
All right, if you want to see more of that interview, that'll be coming up tomorrow.
Teaser.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened? Yeah.
When did
what
they
happened?
I love it, Jeff.
And
I love it. He's like our audience.
Well,
this is all of our audience right here.
I
He's
grew up
like,
on.
Wait a second. Stop that. Give me more.
The sitcoms, remember? Gary Coleman. That was so different strokes.
Different strokes. Yes.
It's a great show.
I could go down to TV lane.
What you talking about with this?
Sure.
What you talking about?
It's interesting because the experience that they have at Storm Cellars is really similar to what everybody's trying to do in this area, is to create that experience for people to come back. You guys sat out there and did a tasting at a table in the tent right by the winery, and the sun was setting. It was a beautiful.
You're looking over this whole valley, Greg. I mean,
the same backdrop here, but up higher.
Yeah. And you almost look at this farm. Yeah. I mean, you're just a hair to the.
I think we're speaking. I think what you're speaking of is somewhat of terroir, the concept of that the soil and the actual place gives texture and gives flavor and kind of maybe emotion, but.
Oh hell yes, emotion,
yeah,
brother! I mean, are you not connected to this By the way, I'm just going to close off your front porch here. You don't mind, do you? Right? I mean, you
The
know,
terroir. You've been talking about that all night, Greg.
Yeah.
The terroir.
Yeah.
The concept that the actual land gives energy and gives flavor.
Well, and we'll move on. You'll stay. We'll move on. But you're going up to Crested Butte tomorrow. Point of what I'm saying is that we'll be in the Four Corners tomorrow evening. And in the morning, we'll talk to Simon from Bow and Arrow, and we're going to get the flavor of that region. And then we'll hustle into Durango, and what are we going to experience there? We do it every year, but Great Farms and James Ranch, and you get to see places like the processing plant. But what it lends into the Durango area, really cool stuff there, Dave.
Yeah, what's cool for me is you guys will be down there with me, obviously.
Yes, we will.
And I haven't been to...
Oh, there's a cidery down there.
Right, Outlier Farms and Fence Line Ciders.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited to go there.
I'm
We're gonna
excited
be
to go there, too.
We're going to be there Monday afternoon.
Yep, and then we'll hustle through the San Luis Valley and up, just off the sand dunes into Crestone and Saguache. And
well, wait. Tell Jeff who we're going to see when we're in the San Luis Valley. Because Jeff knows our boy Tom McCracken.
Oh, McCracken?
At Green Earth Farm.
Oh, well, he's one of the greatest.
Tom is a legend in,
He's a legend. For real. Much props.
Yeah, and he's running for county commissioner. Saguache
God
County
bless him.
commissioner.
I can't
love
even
it.
picture
I
that.
love it.
But he's
Well, listen,
to me,
I want a guy like that to
when,
win.
When
because
I
this is,
visit Tom
change.
McCracken, I see a guy first of all, wants to be off the grid.
He is off the grid. Yeah, he is.
Right.
That boy is.
I think he might want to be on the grid at this point.
The way he utilizes water, bar none.
It's insane.
Like he's doing stuff that's like an ant farm. The way that it looks, the water is running down this way, and then it comes to this little area, and this little garden bed here is getting that from the. He's manipulating that land and how he can do it, and it's very.
And they're
modest,
making
too.
products, right? Like herbal products.
Yeah. Well, so and Jeff might. Tom has had a big transition because he sold his 400 acres in Saguache, moved that to the San Isabel Forest. And all of a sudden, he is taking a stream out of the San Isabel Forest. I mean, and this is classic McCracken. I mean, he has taken a stream, and he is watering an orchard. He is watering several terraces of different greens and vegetables, and then he's got his greenhouse going. And to your point,
I love you, Dave.
Lillian, on the other side, is growing these herbs in the greenhouse, and she is, one of the first people to really utilize calendula in the Colorado, period.
But I think that goes back to our point earlier where farmers were original entrepreneurs and they're always thinking, they're always efficient. And McCracken's is a perfect example of that, making products, making value-added products. And when they move to this new place, being like, oh, I got water, what can we do with it? And taking full advantage.
Yeah. We're going to see a galler named Zealand Parker. She owns a ranch called Music Meadows outside of Westcliff. Well, in Westcliff.
San Grey de Cristo.
Yeah.
And
or San Grey's Best, sorry.
San Grey's Best.
San Grey's Best.
She, so COVID broke that food chain for her. She had nobody to sell it to. And
what was she growing? I'm
sorry. She's raising
beef.
Beef.
Great cattle ranch. Actually, that's a place. I need to find that video actually.
And I'll fill
Brian,
this in.
talk about
I'll fill this in
talk
with
about that for a second.
Elin. She was one of those people that was doing restaurants all 100% deep in the restaurant side of things, which.
Direct wasn't her thing.
Yeah, direct wasn't her thing. And then this whole COVID thing hit, and she was stuck. I mean, she had a few freezers full of meat.
And no revenue coming in.
And so all of a sudden was like, holy shit, I got to change my – sorry, I couldn't remember which we were on. If we were on FCC-regulated crap or not, and we're not, thank God. But that
was an interesting thing. I mean, all the pigs that they didn't know what to do with, the supply chain stopped, and they had to slaughter pigs before butcher.
Yeah, and she reached out to Colorado home delivery programs for meat, and all of a sudden, boom, sold everything because we're in this place
because of community.
Because of community, and that's what I think is so interesting I mean, and I do truly feel you're unique here because of the fact that
there's McCracken.
You're on this highway that is.
Where's McCracken?
Right here, man. Look at you guys would love this.
Here's his overalls.
I know.
Same overalls.
My boy Thomas, yeah, he's never not in those coveralls. I love it. But look at how this is. He's got this terraced land that he's running this off a stream.
Look at this.
You guys,
He's always been a good, cool, great grower.
Yeah, and this passion that you talk about. Because I mean, Tom and I have spent more. I mean, we started growers. He and I are so close, and it's that passion that I found that, and really, almost, I got to thank him because in a way he told me it was all right to be passionate about what I believe in and really almost tell everyone to screw off. I mean, listen, if they can't love you, and Jeff, that's why, the other night I embrace all that you are, and there's a big, you stick your.
I embrace all that you
well,
are.
he
Jeff.
sticks his finger up to a lot of people. And
wait. Like who?
Jeff, you tell a lot of the world to go, F off. Because the reality is like
but in a loving
way. He does it his way, and
passionate.
Yeah, I think that it's Jeff standing up for himself. It's not telling people to fuck off. It's like Jeff's going to do what he's going to do, regardless of what other people think he should do.
And in a way, though, that's real, and that's what
totally.
we should all be.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a better place, as opposed to be worried about what others want us to be or how we perceive. I mean, but that's the hard thing, because I go back to your apples. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
You're growing different varieties, but the reality is the public, if you go to the grocery store, if you're going to sell to the major retailers, you're going to have to grow one of 5 or 6 varieties of apples. And if you want to do something different and unique.
Let's name those varieties. Galas.
Honeycrisps. Well, that's just a seasonal thing, and that's a Colorado thing, man. I mean, it comes out of Washington.
No,
you don't have much.
No,
you don't have any
name the 5. Let's
coming out of
move
the
on. Let's
Northeast.
not get stuck on the varieties. But Gala, Honeycrisp, Fuji.
I wouldn't
Granny
put
Smith,
Honeycrisp. Yeah, Grannies.
And let's Red or Golden Delicious.
Red Delicious
or
and Gold Delicious. Yeah, and those are the 5
Pink
apples.
Lady. Okay.
Do you see a Black Arkansas? Do you ever see
in
that
my
in the
future?
grocery store? Well, in the grocery store.
Jeff, here's Eland's land right here. It's saying
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I love the Sangres.
But
Blood of Christ. I mean, that's good. That's deep.
Jeff, do you hear where I'm going with this? Would you
striking.
grow other apple varieties that will stick your nose up to,
I think that
mainstream?
The beauty of this orchard and this business is like, if we grow anything, it's going to be because we can use it. It's not for the outside market. We can sell it and we can use it, but it's not for like the mass market. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it.
Yeah, through there quick.
Yeah, if we grow Arkansas Black, that's because we can use it in cider, not because there's an outside market for it.
I love you for coming back to this because that's earlier. Remember, I was asking about this. Do you feel fortunate that in your business model, you're not growing for the market, you're growing for your other business, which is your juicing business?
I think we have this beautiful backfall of the juice, and so anything that we wouldn't sell in this market, we can use for juice. But I think that we create our market, honestly, because of the experience and because of the the aspect of the U-Pick orchard. We could grow whatever the hell we want to grow, and people would be stoked to pick it because they're here and they're picking it. I mean, we do best with Honeycrisp and things like that because people love it. But I think that we don't have to cater to the market. We create our market. And then with the juice, we get to go back and use that, whatever we've created. And there's always an out source for it.
Yeah, you can backfill your juice.
It has taken the pressure off. And when you take the pressure off in a entrepreneurial situation, then you can create because you can sell and make value for whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And
there's
so
no waste.
Yeah, there's no waste, and there's no fear. There's no fear in our system.
It's do what you know works, do what you know you love, and then there's no fear because you have this, like, especially with juice, because it doesn't have to be so finely crafted. It's like you can kind of like catch all with this stuff.
Wait, it's kind of finely crafted.
It's beautifully crafted.
I'd
But
like
it's
to
like,
take
you know,
effort.
you can. It's like it's you know, but it like
It's
in the
juice.
scope-
It's juice, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
You're right.
But in the scope
it's
of
the
what
basic.
we're doing.
It's the basis of all. You know,
Yeah.
it's easy. It's basic, and you can make your return on it. You can make your money back on it. So again, the pressure's off. The fear is gone, and it allows you to create a campground, a music venue, a U-pick, a jam line, a jelly line, hard cider, because you don't have that fear holding you back. And we've been fortunate, and we give a lot of thanks to our particular situation. But we have in terms of products and agricultural products found value and found outages and usages for all of it. So the fear and the pressure's off, and we've been able to not survive but create.
Brother
and,
Jeff.
and I think Lil has been a
Yeah.
great attribute to that
Yeah, good
because
stuff.
she's a creator, and when you give a person who's an artist and a creator a fearless platform, then that's when the beauty comes, you
Good
know.
stuff, man. That way, I mean, listen, we got to stop there because that's it. That's what we look for, and that's the story that we want to tell.
And Jay's throwing the C.
Oh,
So
you
there's
gotta see-
two reasons
it's
we got to
actually-
stop.
it's
No, I'm just joking. He's not.
Can I give a hell yeah? Because
listen.
you guys, what Jeff just
Yeah.
said, I mean, that's thank you.
Yeah.
Brother, because
Thank you guys for
what-
your hospitality.
Yeah, you guys are
Here's what
this
we
is
want to do.
swag
Next
right
year,
here.
can we come back? Are you
Of
going to allow us?
course.
Yeah,
All
I think
Yeah.
Solstice, we're booked.
We're starting a tradition, right? So this year, and honestly, you know, it's like no before you go. We want to be very respectful.
No before you go.
Yeah, before you go.
That's
you
a
gotta
big slogan here on the West Coast.
be responsible, and when you're traveling to other people's homes and their regions.
Yeah, use low light outlet
Just be-
outages.
I mean, listen, seriously, just be non-evasive.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's very important to do that.
Do not use the restroom inside.
Not during COVID
Not during
2020.
And any
MFer.
time, anytime
summer.
you're visiting, and again, this is open. This experience to other folks. You can come camp
Yes.
Yeah.
and encouraged to. You have a great website. What's the website, Lil?
www.bigbs.com.
That's right.
At your favorite outlet mall.
Good stuff.
Walgreens. Da, da, da.
We will
Sorry,
be back
sorry,
next
Jay.
year. And you know
So
what?
not what you guys are, though. You guys-
Walgreens?
no, yes.
They do a nice job with their beverage department.
You guys, you don't know. We've come out here, and the people that we've met that, I mean, friends of mine that have been here. I mean, the founder of Tutulia.
Yeah, she was great.
I
Her
mean,
kids,
Linda
they-
was
yeah.
here with her kids. You have created something, you guys. I can't even tell you how much
Oh, they
this
know.
is so special.
They know. And you know when you're
Oh,
on
he
something
doesn't
good.
yet because he's been working his ass off and trying to figure out how to just make sure everything gets paid for tomorrow. And I think the big thank you is Greg, what you and Jay have done for these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Listen,
this
is our pleasure. I mean, truly, for the hospitality that you've shown and the accommodations, it's more than we could ever ask. But more important than that, the friendship.
Yeah, the friendship is deep, and
That's it.
the ritual,
Morning
and the
coffee
timing
that I
and-
have with you, and to spend time
Yeah.
and to talk about things, and off camera, we get deep about a few things,
fun.
and I appreciate it. It is fun, and
It's friendship. And I think Corona days did bring us to this. And it made people appreciate this time that we spend with our families and our friends and our community. And we talked about that last night. And I really do. We give a lot of appreciation to this time, this last 4 months, because it slowed us down and it made us appreciate cooking and crafting and friends and communication and talking. And here we are in the summer of COVID, you know, the longest day of the year. We're out of it. We're in it, whatever we are. But we're trying to figure out how
it's
to
all reeled
be-
back in.
Yeah.
And we talked about the pruning. Everything's pruned down,
Yeah.
and now you start adding back. Just such is life. Who's healthy and what's healthy for you? And this is so healthy for me because I needed this tonight. And thank you again, Brian. Great job. Lil, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Friends and family down there around a campfire.
Nice fire.
Jay
Let's go to
Parker
the
on
fire.
the ones and twos, man. It's such a great job. You got to get some food in you, man. Have you eaten anything?
Not yet.
Let's give it to
Jay
Jay.
Parker.
Jay Parker. Good work,
Dave
Jeff.
Thibodeau.
Good work,
we
Jeff.
outlasted Dave. That's all I wanted to do.
2 nights in a row.
Outlast the guy that owns a brewery. That's saying something. I know.
He asleep somewhere in the car.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Hey, Dave, can you bring me that guitar?
No, he's in the camper. He's Sanzis right now. Again, thank you. We'll see you down the road. Tomorrow's a travel day. We'll be in Cortez, Colorado. We'll set up shop there. We'll visit
Whoa. I'm going to slow you down. We've got.
You got some kind of booger hanging off your face.
Oh,
there,
it's
man.
my mustache. You got. Oh, it's a little
you're
lime.
dehydrated, man. You need some water, Brian.
Oh, get out of here! No,
Why are you
we've
gonna
got
God,
South River Aquaponics.
We're going to Montrose.
South
Yes.
River Aquaponics. Don't forget them.
I
Don't
can't.
forget
Storm Cellar Distillery.
Storm
Yes.
King. Storm King.
Oh, yes, Storm Cellar right here. You got a distillery. I just made you a distillery. You're
Yep.
right. Storm King.
All good, but I just want to tie in whether I
There's
got
Dave.
a little.
Dave's not home, man.
Oh, Dave!
Dave's not home.
Okay,
All right,
you
that's
guys,
it.
we're
out
back
of here.
for another
back
hour.
down the road tomorrow. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Thanks, guys.